Air pollution refers to the release of pollutants into air that are detrimental to human health and the planet as a whole. Air pollution is an introduction of particulates, biological molecules, or other harmful materials into the Earth's atmosphere, causing diseases, death to human, damage to other living organisms, such as animals and food crops. Ang air pollution ay isang bagay na nangyayari sa ating hangin kung saan ito ay unti-unting nagkakaroon ng dumi o mga bagay na nakakapagdulot ng masama sa kalusugan ng tao, hayop, halaman at kahit na sa ating kapaligiran. Nagkakaroon at natutumihan ng ating hangin dahil sa mga kagagawan din ng tao. Katulad ng pagtayo ng isang malaking pabrika, nagbubuga ng maitim na usok, mga taong nag-UC, sasakyan na sira at na nagbubuga ng madumi at maitim na usok. At ang mga basurang tigatapon kung saan-saan na papabayaan hanggang ito ay mabulok at magdulot ng masamang amoy sa kapaligiran.
Now, let's proceed to the types of air pollution. So, we have primary air pollutant and secondary air pollutant. So, first, we have primary air pollutant or PAPs that are emitted directly into the air from sources. Example, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, particulate matter, chlorofluorocarbons, and ammonia. So now let's know what are those kind of air pollutant. So we have sulfur dioxide or the SO2 is a colorless gas belonging to the family of gases called sulfur oxides or SOx. It reacts on the surface of a variety of airborne solid particles, is soluble in water, and can be oxidized within airborne water droplets. And sulfur dioxide dissolves easily in water to form sulfuric acid. Like for example, the cooking odor is produced from the burning of fossil fuel. Next, we have nitrogen oxide or the NOx or NOx is produced from the reaction of nitrogen and oxygen gases in the air during combustion, especially at high temperatures in areas of high motor vehicle traffic, such as in large cities. The amount of nitrogen oxides emitted into the atmosphere as air pollution can be significant. So, NOx gases react to form smog and acid rain as well as being central to the formation of fine particles matter and around and ground level ozone. Both are associated with adverse health effects. Next, carbon monoxide or CO. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless, toxic yet non-irrigation gas, and it is a product by incomplete combustion of fuels such as natural gas, coal, and wood. So, carbon dioxide is about 3% lighter than air. Please take note that this kind of air pollutant is a silent killer. Why? Because it displaces oxygen in the blood and deprives the heart, brain, and other vital organs of oxygen. So let's move on to volatile organic compounds or VOCs. VOCs are organic chemicals that evaporate at room temperature. VOCs have high vapor pressure and low boiling point. VOCs are both human-made and natural occurring chemical compounds, and VOCs may have long-term adverse effects to both humans and the environment. So VOCs can also come from the personal care products that have a sweet odor, such as perfume, hairsprays, paints, and varnishes. So those are the examples of volatile organic compounds. Next, we have particulate matter or PM. Particulates or particulate matter refer to any mixture of solid particles of liquid droplets that remain suspended in the atmosphere for appreciable time period. Of particulate matter are dust, salt, and water sulfuric acid droplets. So let's proceed to chlorofluorocarbons or CFC. Chlorofluorocarbons are highly stable compounds, and chlorofluorocarbons is organic compounds that contain carbon and chlorine and fluorine atoms. Like for example, refrigerators and air conditioners are the most commonly emitter of chlorofluorocarbons. If the coolant used in refrigerators, air conditioners, cars are not properly disposed, it will leak chlorofluorocarbon in the atmosphere. Either the coolant will evaporate or get into the soil, contaminating both chlorofluorocarbons. And the other example of this is the sprays, the insect sprays that can cause also air pollution. Lastly, we have ammonia. Ammonia is a compound of nitrogen and hydrogen with the formula of NH3. It is the colorless gas with a characteristic and famous pungent smell. So what are those pungent smell? So those are the smells of durian, basurahan, garbage. So it can cause also air pollution.
Good morning, sir, classmate. So my topic is all about the secondary pollutants. So from the word secondary pollutants are defined as the pollutants which form in the atmosphere. So kumbaga, these secondary pollutants ay hindi galing sa mga sasakyan or sa mga power plants. It form as a result of the pollutant the sources emit and reacting with the molecules in the atmosphere. So pollutants which emits into the environment directly from a source are primary pollutants. So now, let us discuss about the types of secondary pollutants. So first, we have the photochemical smog. Photochemical smog is a mixture of pollutants that are formed when nitrogen oxide and volatile organic compounds react to sunlight, creating a brown haze above cities. So kumbaga, a brownish haze are often indicators of photochemical smog. So nitrogen dioxide is responsible for the brownish color of the haze. So this fog ay nabubuo lamang kapag umaga dahil sa mga sasakyan na ginagamit. So ang nitrogen oxide ay galing sa usok ng sasakyan at yung usok na yun ay napupunta sa atmosphere. So yun yung photochemical smog. So next we have the ground level ozone. Ground level ozone, it is highly reactive secondary pollutant. This formation occurs when primary pollutants like hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxide react with sunlight, and ozone irritates people's lungs, so high temperature and sun both act as catalysts to this reaction. The effect are breathing problems, coating, and irritation to our eyes, nose, and throat. And the last, we have the acid disposition. Acid disposition is a broad term that includes any form of precipitation with acidic components such as sulfuric or nitric acid that fall to the ground from the atmosphere in wet and dry forms. This can include rain, snow, fog, hail, or even dust that is acidic. So, dahil dito, malaki ang magiging problema hindi lamang sa ating nature, kundi para
Anthropogenic sources. There are various location, activities, or factors which are responsible of releasing pollutants into the atmosphere. These resources can be classified into two major categories. One is anthropogenic or man-made sources. Two is the natural sources. We have here samples of anthropogenic sources. These are related to the burning multiple types of fuels. Stationary sources include stock of power plants, manufacturing facilities and waste incinerators, as well as furnaces and types of fuel burning heating device. Chemical, dust, and controlled burn practices in agriculture and forest management. Mobile sources include motor vehicle, fumes from paint, hairspray, varnish, aerosol spray, and other sources. Waste disposition in landfills which generate methane. We have a bar graph here that indicates the level of sources. On the first bar is the pollutions coming from the cars and trucks with 38%. Second are fumes from paint, hairspray, varnish, aerosol sprays, and other solvents with 21%. Sample to these are spray nets, insecticide sprays, and other household products. We are also polluted because of some industries like factories with 18%. Last, we have the non-road engine with 23%. These are the shapes and other sea-based engines.
Sources of air pollution. So the first source of air pollution is the burning of fossil fuels. Sulfur dioxide emitted from the combustion of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and other factory combustibles of pollution. Pollution emitted from vehicles including trucks, jeeps, cars, trains, and airplanes causes immense amount of pollution. The burning of fossil fuels releases harmful gases like oxides of sulfur and nitrogen into the atmosphere, which are very known to be harmful and poisonous gases. So when it comes to pollution emitted from vehicles including trucks, jeeps, cars, trains, and airplanes, it causes immense amount of pollution. So isa ang binubugang smoke ng mga sasakyan na nagkakos ng pollution, wherein ang smoke na binubuga nito is unhealthy and dirty, na maaaring makasira o makasira sa ating hangin and makasama sa ating kalusugan. So the next one is the agricultural activities. Use of pesticides, insecticides, and fertilizers in agricultural activities has grown quite fast. They emitted harmful chemicals into the air, and it can also cause water pollution. Ammonia is a very common byproduct from agriculture-related activities and is one of the hazardous gases in the atmosphere. So, sa agricultural activities, sa mga pesticides, insecticides, and fertilizers na ginagamit ng mga farmers is nagre-release ito meron itong ammonia, which is known to be a very hazardous gases in the atmosphere. Nire-release ito ng pesticides or insecticides na ginagamit ng ating farmers sa ating mga pananim. Sa paggamit ng pesticides, meron itong benefit sa plants and meron din itong harmful effect sa tao. So sa benefit sa plants is napapatay nito ang mga peste na naninira ng ating pananim. While ang harmful effect naman nito sa tao is, if ever na malanghap ito ng tao, is may probability na magkakasakit ang tao due to the hazardous gases na nalalanghap din ng tao na nare-release mula sa pag-spray ng pesticides at insecticides. And sa agricultural activities is nag-emit ito ng harmful chemicals na hindi lang nagdudulot ng air pollution, kundi nagdudulot din ito ng water pollution. The next one is the exhaust from factories and industries. Manufacturing industries release large amount of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, organic compounds, and other chemicals into the air, thereby depleting the quality of air. So, isa ang factories and industries na kilala bilang isa sa mga nagdudulot ng air pollution wherein ang binubuga nitong smoke ay nakaka-contaminate ng nilalanghap nating hangin. Akala natin is safe at healthy pa yung nilalanghap nating hangin, although hindi natin alam na ang binubugang smoke na nagmimix sa hangin is hindi na pala healthy at nakakasira na ng ating kalusugan. One is the exhaust from factories and industries. Manufacturing industries release large amount of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, organic compounds, and other chemicals into the air, thereby depleting the quality of air. So, isa ang factories and industries na kilala bilang isa sa mga nagdudulot ng air pollution wherein ang binubuga nitong smoke ay nakaka-contaminate ng nilalanghap nating hangin. Akala natin is safe at healthy pa yung nilalanghap nating hangin, although hindi natin alam na ang binubugang smoke na nagmimix sa hangin is hindi na pala healthy at nakakasira na ng ating kalusugan. The next one is the mining operators. Mining is a process wherein minerals below the earth are extracted using large equipment. During the process, dust and chemicals are released in the air, causing massive air pollution. So, sa mining operators is it is very dangerous and very harmful dahil ang chemicals na nare-release mula sa pagmamine ng mga miners is nagko-cause ng respiratory disease, which is nalalanghap nila yung mga chemicals dahil yung mga chemicals na nare-release ng pagmamining is hindi siya lumalabas kundi umiikot lang doon sa area dahil para siyang closed area na wherein umiikot lang doon yung chemicals at hindi siya lumalabas na which it leads to the miners to get sick and cause respiratory diseases. Sa mining operators is sa pagmimina nagre-release ito ng methane and oxides of nitrogen na nakakasama sa ating kalusugan nor sa mga miners. And the last one is the indoor air pollution. The indoor air pollution is household cleaning products, painting supplies emit toxic chemicals in the air and cause air pollution. Household yan siya na mali lang pag-type. So, sa indoor air pollution is Nagkakos ito ng air pollution wherein air pollutants from particles and gases contaminate the air of indoor areas. The air pollutants can cause respiratory disease or even cancer. So sa mga ginagamit nating mga cleaning products, paintings, so ang cleaning products at mga paintings is nag-e-emit siya ng mga toxic chemicals na nakakasira ng ating kalusugan. Pag nalalanghap ito, merong ibang tao na nagugustuhan yung amoy ng paintings, gases, pero di nila alam na nakakasira na pala ito ng kanilang kalusugan. Kaya be careful sa mga ginagamit nating mga products, or if ever, kung gagamit ka man is wear your mask, use gloves para din sa ating safety. That's all.
As the cause and effect of air pollution. So first, we are going to discuss the effects of air pollution on human health. So there's so much a lot of there's a lot of effect of air pollution in our body, like asthma, lung cancer, ventricular hypertrophy, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, psychological complication, autism, retinopathy, fetal growth, then low birth weight. Pero may tinatawag din silang long-term effects of air pollution includes heart disease, lung cancer, and respiratory disease such as emphysema. So bakit the usual na naging epekto ng air pollution is about the respiratory. It is because of na-smell natin siya which is can triggered inside our body. So next is the effects of air pollution are very alarming, so that is very correct. So babala talaga yan sa atin na may mga especially may mga sakit na talaga sa kanilang mga katawan. So dapat maging alarma sila if ever kung especially is nagagawa sila sa kanilang bahay. So kailangan nilang maging aware sa pwedeng mangyari. So next is, they are known to create several respiratory and heart condition along cancer among other threats of the body. So pag may sakit ka nga, especially sa respiratory or sa mga heart condition, so pag too much yung exposure mo sa gawas is pag mag-trigger siya, that could be the cause of cancer. So mas lalo talagang maglalala siya yung magiging sakit mo. So air pollution causes among following disease in human body, like cystic fibrosis, lung disease, cancer, difficulty in breathing, din asthma. So once meron kang mga disease na ganito sa yung katawan, so you have to be aware when you are exposing too much inside the house, or even outside outside the house. The effect of air pollution on the materials. So yung air pollution pala is may epekto pa din ito sa mga materials in our surrounding. So the particulate matter causes damage to buildings. So yung air pollution pala is nakakapag-damage pala siya ng ating building. Especially yung air pollution is it is evaporated from the atmosphere. That could be done from sa baba sa mga tao at sa ating mga materials around us. Decoration is enhanced. So when you see decoration, it is the ito yung mga metals or mga stones or the other materials which could be exposed from the outside. So like for example is yung mga ginagamit ng mga mekaniko pag mag-i-expose yan sila too much outside the outside the house nila is yun yung tinatawag nila na nagtataya talaga siya. Next is the causes of tracks feedings of pointed surface. So, yung mga matutulis na mga bagay, pag too much yung exposure niya or too much na yung mga pollutants na nagaano sa kanya, yung naga-a-appear sa kanya. So, maari pala siyang mag-fade yung kanyang mga dahil nga is pollutants na siya. So, particulates accumulates of the soil and results fertility of soil. So, when you say fertility, it is ability to produce offspring. So, yung tinatawag nila na yung mga what do you call this? Yung sa ano natin sa soil na pwede na rin siyang maapektuhan. So, the effects of air pollution in animals rather. So, just like human animals also face some devastating effects of air pollution. So, kung yung mga tao is nagsasuffer due to the air pollution, so yung mga animals is nagsasuffer din sila or nakaka-encounter din sila ng ganong bagay. Kaya nga sometimes, some of the animals, especially yung mga animals nga exposed talaga sila, like for example, along the highway, so yun sila talaga yung mga nagkakaroon din ng sakit compare sa mga animals na which is living from the forest. So yung sa kanila lang yung mga yung mga hayop na nasa forest na nakastay sila, hindi masyadong exposed talaga sila sa air pollution. Pero na lang kung may mga nagsusunog sa na pwedeng pwedeng makaapekto din sa kanila. So we have also the five major causes of air pollution like industries, vehicles. Actually hindi siya 5, marami pala siya. So we have industries, vehicles, household and farming chemicals, deforestation, smoking, home heating, then home cooking, then volcano eruption, then forest fire. So yung industries, ito yung mga factory na kung saan yung mga usok nila is nagaga-evaporate yan sila sa atmospheres. Kasi according to my research lang ha, hindi according sa akin. According to my research kasi, once daw kasi yung atmosphere natin or yung ozone layer natin is napupuno na siya ng mga pollutants that could be the result of evaporation, which is magkakaroon tayo ng magkakaroon tayo ng ulan. I don't know, that's according to the scientific explanation of the scientist, pero sa akin di ko sinasabing naniniwala ako, pero according kasi sa scientist mas matalino sila talaga. So, yun yung sabi nila na nagkakaroon daw tayo ng ulan kasi nga yung ating atmosphere or the ozone layer is madumi na. Yun yung sabi nila. Din sa vehicles naman, ito yung, like for example, in the city. Sa isa ka city is dagan na ang mga what do you call this? Dagan na ang mga sakyanan. So, that will be the cause also of air pollution. Kumbaga, sa dami na ng mga vehicles na.
Solutions for air pollution. Number 1. Use public mode of transportation. Encourage people to use more and more public modes of transportation to reduce pollution. Also, try to make use of carpooling. If you and your colleagues come from the same locality and have same timings, you can explore this option to save energy and money. To reduce pollution from vehicles, you can drive less, walk or bike when you can, take public transit when possible, or use ride-sharing services. Number 2. Conserve energy. Switch off fans and lights when you are going out. Large amount of fossil fuels are burned to produce electricity. You can save the environment from degradation by reducing the amount of fossil fuels to be burned. There's a lot of ways to conserve energy, like replace your light bulbs or use more power strips, and of course, you can purchase energy-efficient appliances. Number 3. Understand the concept of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Do not throw away items that are of no use to you. In fact, reuse them for some other purpose. We can use old jars to store cereals or pulses. The 3 R's can reduce the air pollution caused by the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, natural gas, and oil, which contributes to the largest amount of energy generated. Number 4. Emphasis on clean energy resources. Clean energy technologies like solar, wind, and geothermal are on high these days. Governments of various countries have been providing grants to consumers who are interested in installing solar panels for their home. This will go a long way to curb air pollution. Last, better household practices. Discard fireplaces and or wood stoves used for heating homes. Use gas logs in place of wood. Also, eliminate the use of gas-powered lawn and gardening equipment. Avoid setting fire to garbage, dry leaves, or other materials in your yard, and lighting bonfires in the open. Try to mulch or compost your yard waste. Use cleaning products and paints that are environmentally friendly.
For your activity this morning, I want you to answer this following question. And that will be all. Thank you for listening.